So the last 6 months has been a whirlwind trying to get the packaging on our new product correct and attractive for retail stores. And so I've been a little bit away from LinkedIn and other online sources for a while until today. And I had a great conversation with one of my long-standing best friends, Kevin, for over 30 years. And I just wanted to share it with you because I think it's important, and it spawned in me a new inspiration and belief in myself. And I think sometimes we need to hear that from our best friends. Certainly it's good to get objective criticism, but it is also good to get lifted up, inspired, reinvigorated, and to tell the truth about you, about some of the good things about you. And it's not bragging when you do that. It's really not. So I was explaining to him that I have been away from social media while I've been grueling to get the packaging on this stuff right. And he said, Jay, you've got to let the world see you. You have to, the world needs to know you like I know you. I said, really? And he said, yeah. And here's the interesting part. He goes, in a word, you are curious. I'm always curious to hear about your ideas. I'm curious about the environment that you live in and all this cool stuff that you get to see every day in nature. The new ideas, the business plans, everything. I'm always curious to know what you're going to do next because I know it's going to be pretty special. And so I thought to myself, maybe I do need to spend more time letting the world know me and the things that go on inside of my head. And he's like, after all, you do live in God's country. And it is true. Well, technically, God's country is everywhere. It's just some areas have way more concrete than other areas. This is not one of those areas, as you can see. I am surrounded by beauty, this magnificent environment. And it's amazing on a daily basis the lessons I get to learn from nature and what I can glean from everything that it has to offer me. It actually kind of, if you pay attention, shouts at you every single day. And so I've decided I'm going to start making more videos, not only share more about who I am with you and my followers, but to share the lessons that I've learned in this environment, because not everybody gets to see life the way I do. So I have a unique perspective, which is good, which is valuable. And I am going to call it Wisdom from the Woods. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more coming my way. In fact, I'm going to go out here on the road and I want to show you something. So it is the latter half of September in Wisconsin, northern Wisconsin to be exact. And colors are starting to change. We happen to be experiencing an amazing Indian summer today. It's actually around 80 degrees, I think 81 to be exact. And you can see how the leaves are beginning to lose their chlorophyll and reveal the true nature of the color that exists inside of them. It's not just green all year, but that's the true color, and you don't get to appreciate that until this time of year. And here's this really cool swamp over here, and anyone would say, oh, that's beautiful, so neat. But there's so much more to see if you look. For example, see this tree right here? It's kind of almost fuzzy, and it has characteristics of both a conifer and deciduous tree. It's called a larch. And the cool thing about this one is it has tiny little needles on it. Let's go up and take a look. You can see those cool little needles. Well, this tree will all turn a golden, bright golden in another month or so, and then it will lose all those needles for the winter, and then they'll all grow back next year. Let's see. Oh, here's something cool. These are, well, they're ferns, of course, but these are fiddlehead ferns. And in spring, when these first come up, they come up out of the ground like a bud, and they're all coiled around like the bow, the curved bow end of at the end of a violin. So that's why they're called fiddlehead ferns when they first come out. And when they come out for like the first 2-3 inches and they're curved around like that, that's the time that you can pick them. They're very edible, very tasty, sauteed in butter, a little bit of garlic, maybe even some onions. Fiddlehead ferns are phenomenal. And like the larch, they're green most of the year, but as you can see, as fall nears, they reveal all these cool lighter shades of green and brown, and they're just beautiful to look at. And then they're gone, but they'll come back next year. So here's the thought. So much we can learn by spending time in nature, which I am very, very blessed to be surrounded by this every single day for most of the year. And there's so much that we can learn from it, glean from it, get inspired by it. But all of these things, these trees and the lichen, the beautiful seafoam green lichen that's on this tree, has a story to tell. It's important, it's beautiful. And so I would encourage you to tell your story. You're unique, you're different. Tell your story, especially right now with the way things are. We don't have the social interaction that we normally do. But even then, before all of this craziness, we're in a world of emails and texts, and it's like the telephone call, the cold call, which, crazy enough, I love to cold call because I never know who I'm going to meet, who I'm going to talk to on the other end. But we lose our personality, we lose who we are. We lose context. It's important that the world knows who you are, to tell your story. We can only go so far. You can only accomplish so much without developing personal relationship, whether it is business or sales or relationships and love. You gotta let people know who you are. And I'm going to let you know more about who I am. And you can hold me accountable to that. So this is the first one of Wisdom from the Woods that's coming up, and I'm going to try and give a shout out like this at least once a week. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I hope it is as beautiful as this.